Hi, and welcome to Crafts with Ash DIY and Decor. Today, I'm bringing you 5 ideas that you can make for your brand new teachers for back to school. Also, I'm going to throw in one that I made at the end of the year that would be perfect for now, and a first day of school board. Now, these projects are going to feature my Cricut. If you don't already know, I just got a brand new Cricut. I am a very new user, so I really don't know what I'm doing, but I thought I'd give it a try. So if you are a newbie just like me, this is the video for you because I want you to see how easy it is and that you can do it too. First, before we get started, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that little notification bell so you can get notified anytime I upload a new video. Also, hit the drop down menu and click all so you can get notified about all notifications. Then jump on over to Facebook and Instagram and let's get social. Join my crafting community by giving me a like and a follow. Sometimes I post behind the scene content I know you don't want to miss. Alright, let's get started with these back to school DIYs. For my first DIY, I'm going to start with this chalkboard board that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I believe it's to say how old the child is and how many teeth and all that. Now here's the thing, I had painted this with chalkboard paint from the Dollar Tree. However, it was just not sticking to this board. So as I was scraping it off, I realized that the white chalkboard lettering on there actually scrapes off with my scraper. So I did just go ahead and just start really scraping it off. Then I took some 100% acetone and started wiping it down. Now you do have to apply a lot of pressure to get all of this wording off, but I'm telling you, the result at the end totally makes it worth all that extra work. So I just scrubbed and scrubbed and scraped until I got the majority of the white chalkboard images off of that board. Once my board was clean, I went ahead and took these graphics that I made from my Cricut. Now, I am not comfortable showing anyone how to create images on the Cricut because I am a newbie myself and this is a learning experience for me. However, anything I learned from YouTube. So definitely just YouTube some great tutorials on how to use your Cricut. Now, I can tell you that this entire image and mostly everything I made in this video came straight from the Cricut Access. It is a subscription. You do have to pay monthly, but it's completely worth it because you don't want to have to sit there and design everything from scratch. So once I printed all of these out, I just went ahead and I weeded them first, and then I put them on my transfer tape. And I started at the top with the Amelia, and then I moved to the bottom to make sure that my spacing was correct. So as you can see, I jumped from the top to the bottom, and now I'm putting my bottom images on. Now you can still see a little bit of that original white chalkboard graphic underneath, but honestly, from far away, no one would ever know. And I didn't want to paint this with black acrylic paint because I still wanted to use the chalkboard part. I wanted to still use this as a chalkboard so I could use this every year. So after I got those 3 graphics pushed down at the bottom, I'm going to attach that sticky one that I keep sticking to on top. Now, like I said, I'm still learning, so I am very, very nervous to just lay things down without positioning them and laying them all out first. So I figured out if I just take my transfer paper, just like how I had this big one, and I flip it upside down, at least it gives me the sizing and positioning that I need. After that, I went ahead and jumped to the first day of graphic, and I'm going to hit that with my transfer paper, and then I'm going to put that under the Amelias. Now this was super easy to cut out. Like I said, I did get this whole image, this entire board, from the Cricut Access. It was easy to change the colors. I literally watched a YouTube video right before I did it, and it taught me how to do it so easy. If I can find that video, I will go ahead and link it below. After that, I applied the little banner where you're going to write in the grade. Next, I added a cute little pencil, and then I'm going to finish it off with some pink polka dots at the bottom to kind of match the hot pink writing up top. I know the hot pink is kind of out there, but Amelia's favorite color is pink, so I thought I would give her some pink in her board. If you don't have a Cricut, you absolutely could do this with chalk markers, paint markers, stickers, but look how easy it is for me to apply this, and it really took me a lot less time to do this than to stencil everything out or to use stickers, but you absolutely could do that too. I love how this came out, and I can't wait for Amelia to use this on her first day of preschool. What do you think? My second DIY is so easy. I picked up this little pencil box from the Dollar Tree, and by using my Cricut, I printed out this graphic that said Teacher Survival Kit. After it printed, I weeded everything out, I put some transfer tape over it, and then I applied it to the top of that pencil box. And it was as simple as that. The next step is simply to fill it. Real quick, I want to take this opportunity to welcome you to my YouTube channel. If you're new, thank you so much for choosing to stop by today. I really hope that you love what you see and choose to stick around for a while by subscribing to my channel. If you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. I hope that you too love what you see today. I am making my way through responding to all of the wonderful comments that I've been receiving over the last couple weeks, and my page is growing like crazy, and I have all of you to thank. So I truly appreciate each and every one of you. To fill this box, I used a few items from the Dollar Tree. The first thing I added was a pack of Kleenexes for those rough times, and then a Hershey's chocolate bar for some chocolate emergencies, of course some hand sanitizer, then some Tylenol because, you know, preschoolers, and then a pack of vitamin C drops to fight away any germs. I also thought it would be cute to add a stress ball, but I couldn't find one at my Dollar Tree. But what do you think? This next one was really fun to make. I started off with this apple shape from the Dollar Tree, and then I painted the inside of it with black acrylic paint. I was trying not to get any paint on that white outline around the perimeter, but then I ended up changing my mind, which you'll see in a little bit. I did end up giving this 3 coats. Once that was dry, I took my crimson chalk paint from Waverly and I painted the outside of my apple. Next, I took my chocolate bar acrylic paint from Apple Barrel and I painted the stem. After that, I took this chalk marker that I got from the Dollar Tree and I just made some stitching marks around the outside of the black paint. Then I took my paintbrush that had the black paint from earlier and I just dry brushed some of that on top of the stem to give it some highlighting. I went back and forth between the black and the brown paint just to give it some dimension. Then I dry brushed some of the brown paint over the leaf that came on that sign. After that, I applied this decal that I made from my Cricut, and I thought that this was so funny. Teacher's gonna teach, and that is so true. My mom is a retired second grade teacher, and the teacher in her has not left. She is definitely still a teacher. So after I applied my decal, I carefully peeled back the transfer tape, and this was super easy to do. Now this is sped up. Honestly, I am going very slow because I didn't want to mess it up. After that, I went ahead and applied the little red marks that go around the word teach. And again, this whole thing was a graphic that I got from that Cricut Access. And as a side note, I just want you to know I'm not getting paid from Cricut for this video, and I'm not getting sponsored. This is just me sharing my personal experience as a newbie Cricut user. After that, I went ahead and applied this little apple outline to the top of the teachers, and I thought that came out really cute. Now this sign originally did come with a twine hanger, but I wanted to switch it up a little bit. So I took this white and red twine that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I threaded it through the back and into the front, and then I knotted it 3 times on top of each other. That way the knot was sure not to go through the hole. Then I cut off the other end and did the same thing. I did tack down each knot with some hot glue to make sure it stayed in place. Now, I really wanted to use that metal leaf that came on this sign, but on the side that it was originally on, it would have covered some of the word teachers. So what I ultimately decided to do was flip it to the other side where there was more room on the top, and I did go ahead and peel off that little apple outline so that way I could glue that leaf on there. Now the apple outline is cute, but I really wanted to use that metal leaf like I said. But I thought that this is a cute little sign for teachers to hang in their classrooms, and my daughter is going to have 2 teachers in her classroom, so I just wanted to make some generic things that could be for both of them to enjoy. What do you think? Now this next little piece is not a DIY, but a little hack that I use. Now, it is very stressful in the mornings with my daughter to try to get those really cute first day of school pictures or holiday photos. So actually what I've started doing was taking the photos the night before. So all of these photos that you're seeing actually were taken the night before her first day of school. And let me tell you, it made for a stress-free morning. I loved this idea so much, I started doing it for holidays too. So I'll take all her Christmas Day photos or Christmas Eve or Thanksgiving the night before. I know this idea is crazy, but I'm telling you, it is so much less chaotic in the mornings, and you can work on getting the perfect photo. For this next DIY, I picked up this wooden apple tray, I guess, and I painted the entire thing except for the stem and the leaf in my crimson red paint. I did paint the inside of this as well and the sides, and you definitely want to make sure you get the edges. Next, I took that chocolate bar paint and I painted the stems of my apples, and of course I'm doing both sides and the insides as well. And then I'm going to take some green paint and paint my leaves. This is your friendly reminder that if you're loving what you see today, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Not only does it really help my channel to grow, but it also tells YouTube that you're loving my content and that you want to see more. So YouTube will throw some of my videos in your homepage for you to enjoy. So don't forget to give this video a like for more DIY inspiration. After my apple was dry, I took this decal that I printed off again from my Cricut, and I absolutely loved what it said because I thought it was perfect for this DIY, and you're going to see why in just a minute. But it says, "The influence of a good teacher can never be erased." Now, of course, I did not come up with this saying. I've seen it everywhere, but like I said, I really loved it. So I just went ahead and put it on my apple. Now, as I was peeling off the transfer tape, I realized that the V, or one side of the V, was kind of wonky. So I used my weeding tool to try to flip it over or to try to straighten it out, try to fix it. And as I was doing that, it completely ripped off one side of the V. So rather than trying to fight and get that little piece back on or to reprint it, I just decided to take my fine point white Sharpie paint marker and just draw the other side. And I'm telling you, from far away, you can't even tell. And the reason why I'm showing you this is to show you that mistakes can be fixed. So to give this little apple a finishing touch, I just made a little twine bow with my yellow and white twine. And I wrapped it around my fingers several times, and then I took another piece and tied it right in the middle to form a bow. Then I hot glued that to the bottom of my stem. Now, of course, this is a little holder, so we need to add some stuff inside. So from the Dollar Tree, I picked up this pack of number 2 pencils, and I thought that these were bright and colorful, just like a preschool classroom would be. So I threw those in there, and then I found this little pencil sharpener from the Dollar Tree, and I put that in there as well. Then I found these really big erasers, and I thought that they were hilarious, so I decided to add both of those in there too. And this is a great little pencil holder, and I absolutely love how this came out. I cannot wait to give these gifts to her teachers this year. What do you think? This last DIY was actually something I made for the end of school last year, but I thought it would be perfect for back to school too. So I started off with this little arrow reception sign, and I gave it 2 good coats of Waverly chalk paint in white. Next, I took some pink paint and I painted just a little end of my arrow sign on the straight part, not the arrow part. We're gonna paint this to look like a pencil. Next, I took this metallic silver paint that I got from Walmart, and I made the little strip right before the eraser. After that, I took my black paint marker and I drew where the lead would start, and then I made some squiggly lines onto where it looked like it got sharpened. Next, I took some yellow paint and I painted the pencil part of the pencil, if that makes sense. Now, because I got some yellow paint on top of my original black lines, I just went ahead and traced over it. Then I colored in the tip of the lead. After that, I took Territorial Beige from Apple Barrel and I painted the sharpened part of the pencil. I hope you're enjoying all of my literal, really smart terms that I'm using right now. After the beige paint was dry, I decided I want the lead part to be a little bit thicker or bigger, so I just extended it out. Now, the reason why I keep going off camera is because I wanted to make sure that I painted all of the edges around the pencil too. After that, I took a little round brush and my maze paint from Waverly, and I just made some polka dots over the yellow part of my pencil. After that was dry, I took my white paint marker and I just made some little stitching marks around each one of those dots. Next, I took this stencil that I got from the Dollar Tree and I traced out the letters to form Mrs. Davis. Now, you absolutely could paint this on, but I just decided not to because I don't have very good luck with stencils. So I really wanted to make sure not to mess this up, obviously, because it is a gift. So after I used my pencil to trace them all on, I went through and colored them in with a black Sharpie. Then, to add one more final detail, I took my black paint marker and added stitching lines all around my pencil, not including the beige part. I thought this little pencil name plate was so cute, and they really enjoyed them when I gave it to them at the end of last school year. So hopefully they're using them in their classroom this year. What do you think? I had so much fun creating all of these back to school DIYs, and I love the fact that I got more experience from using my Cricut. As you saw, I am a newbie. These are only my first couple projects, and I think that they came out pretty well. So it's really easy to catch on how to use Cricut, and hey, as you know, YouTube is a great tool. You're going to have to let me know down in the comments which one of these DIYs was your favorite. Honestly, I don't think I can pick. I really love them all. And I can't wait to give them to her teachers this year. I want to thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't done so already, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that notification bell so you're notified anytime I upload a new video. Also, if you loved what you saw today, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. I would truly appreciate it. Well, until I see you again, I'll craft with you soon. Bye!